Hello and welcome back to INMR. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit different as I'm going to be talking about my experience in the press box for Brighton's Premier League fixture against Sheffield United. Brighton faced the Blades on Sunday afternoon and the final score was 1-1. An early goal from Simon Adingra put Brighton in front, but it was cancelled out as Adam Webster scored an own goal minutes after his teammate Mahmoud Dahoud was sent off. I was in the press box for the game and attended the press conference after the final whistle. So in today's podcast, I'll be going through how each manager felt about the game. Starting off with Roberto de ZERBI'S thoughts on Brighton's performance.
We are spending unlucky period. I think we lost 4 points, 2 against the Fulham and 2 against Sheffield.
He then spoke about the team's poor defensive performance after the red card incident.
We can improve, yes, and we can improve when we have the chance to close the game. We have to kill the game, and when there are 5, 10, 15 or 20 minutes where we have to defend, where we have to suffer with more order, with more energy, because after the red card I didn't like the team. We lost order, we defended in a bad way. We could do better.
He did give some credit to the Blades, but believed his team were the better side.
Yes, they played well, but until the red card, I think we played very well. Deserved to win with more goals, and after red card is another game.
The biggest talking point was Dahoud's red card. Here's what de ZERBI made of the sending off.
If I see the new rules, is a red card, clear. But I was player, and I think the dynamic of the situation is not red card. But we have to accept. I think Dahoud knows the mistake.
Are you angry with him though?
No, I think he has a right experience to not make this mistake, but can happen in football.
De ZERBI received another yellow card this weekend. He hasn't seemed to get along with the Premier League officials since joining the Seagulls. Have a listen to what he makes of the refs and VAR in this country.
I am honest and clear. I don't like the 80% of England referee. I don't like them. The behavior they don't. I don't like their behavior on the pitch. England is only one country where, when there is the VAR, you are not sure the decision is right. In the other country, okay, VAR is, you have to be sure 100% the decision can take the referee is right. In England, no, and I am not able to understand.
In Ajax, Lewis Dunk, James Milner and Pervis Estupiñán all came off injured, so the next journalist asked de ZERBI about when they're expected to make their return.
I don't know the level of the injury. We lost Evan yesterday, but in Amsterdam he was not in the perfect condition. I don't know the time. I hope to find the injured player, Evan, Tariq Lamptey, Estupiñán and Lewis Dunk after the break. I would like to watch them on the pitch.
To finish off then, de ZERBI answers another question about the red card and how it affected the game.
There wasn't game until the red card. Only one team on the pitch. Brighton could win the game 2-3-0, and after red card the game changed. But 11 against 11, there was only one team on the pitch, and we played a great game. And we have to analyze that game. One player less, we lost order and we lost our style.
So overall, De Zerbi wasn't very happy. Next up, we've got Sheffield United manager Paul Heckingbottom and his thoughts on the result.
Yeah. Listen, I thought Brighton started the game really well. We're disappointed with the goal, but I think I have to look past that. And the first 25 minutes in particular, yeah, they moved us about and really exploited the spaces. We tried to be aggressive with it. You can sort of preempt what they're going to do, but the players on the pitch, for them, solve the problems as well. So kept moving us about too much, too often, and exploiting the space. But the good thing was, I thought we showed a lot more calmness as the game went on, which meant that we were more comfortable with them having the ball, but having the ball in front of us. But it was really important we stayed in the game, and we got to half time and we could make two real simple changes without the ball, which helped us. And we certainly needed a better first pass when we won the ball back, which was missing in the first half, and also in possession in the first half. Even when we were composed and got on the ball, generally 9 times out of 10 we'd end up back at Wes. Wes would have to go long and we'd given him the ball back. Second half we needed the same composure to get on it, but more bravery to be the one playing the pass into the front three or the wing back between Brighton's midfield, which then allows us to play the game in their half a lot more. So those two things. So second half I was pleased with all of it. We're always going to be working on things like that. We're not going to be the finished half.
Of course, with them coming off the bottom of the table at this point, Heckingbottom was asked about the relief it could have mentally on him and the players. However, he totally dismissed it. Have a listen.
It's sort of irrelevant. What is pleasing is how we played against a good team, who I thought were very good how they started the game, caused us problems, and we showed a lot of character to stay in the game, but more, it was a composure. Even in the first half when they had so much of the ball, we started to control where they had it, which was just over the centre circle. And I think that realisation then at half time allowed us just to change a couple of things and affect their first pass, and then we could press.
4 points in their last 2 games, the Blades that they've finally got going in the league. Here's what their manager thought about the previous 2 fixtures.
The pleasing thing for me is certainly in the last 2 games. There's been moments in all the games, but certainly in the last 2 games, it's been us that's been the stronger team finishing the game. And that's what I want to see, and that gives me, the players and the fans a huge lift when you're seeing that. We're getting the rewards for trying to be positive, and regardless, we've come away to a top team in the second half. We had a real goal and stepped onto them.
Next up, he speaks about the mind games he had with De Zerbi as they both tweaked small parts of their tactics throughout the game in order to try and give their side the edge.
They're one of the best teams. They try and really exploit that space in front of your centre-backs, and like you see, they try and 2 centre-forwards, we don't call them that, they'll go under the ball and then they'll play a pass into that space and it's the wingers coming in. So we always wanted to make sure we had a spare centre-back. So Hud's job was to make sure that was happening all the time. Brighton quickly figured out that we were dealing with that and then started moving as well the other side. So we're man for man, then he was standing one side overloading Georges, which gave Jayden a problem. Listen, it was a good battle like that, they were a good side.
Finally, with the international break starting, Heckingbottom gave us an insight into what his players are going to be getting up to in preparation for their return. They face Bournemouth on the 25th.
Some good couple of physical testing and some good sessions for the boys who are with us next week. It's like I said, we've got a big game coming up against Bournemouth, but we'll not have everyone back until the end of the week after, which is always frustrating for me. But we'll have a couple of boys back. We'll be able to get some good work in some players, and we also some will need need to get on top of Cameron's workload at the minute. He's done great. Jayden's carrying something. Obviously Vinny's had a knock in his back today. Maka was just cramped. So it'll be, generally I'm not a fan of international breaks, I'd rather keep going, but I think this one hopefully will be a good one for us.
That is where I'm going to end today's podcast. I did write an article on the game. If you'd like to go and check that out, the link is in the description and how to access it is on screen right now. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll be back soon with another one.